He says, you know, you have no right. You know, the leaders will take care of this. And it just frustrated me. So we started reaching out to other families. And then I saw President Grow again. He says, well, people are not going to worry about Michael Jensen. He said, because we're sending him out to his uncle's house tomorrow. He has some kind of farm or something out west here somewhere. But you know what they do on that farm? They do farm, but they also foster children. Oh. And they were going to send him there. So I immediately, I drove to the state police station and I went in and I talked. I said, why is he not arrested yet? I said, he's raped this girl. You've got reports. Well, we're trying to get it through the prosecuting attorney's office where we can do it. I said, well, you need to do it fast. I said, because he's leaving tomorrow morning on a Greyhound bus. And they said, what? How do you know that? I said, President Grow just told me. And so they went immediately and arrested him. And he has never seen daylight since then. So, thank you.
He hasn't seen daylight since, so this was still 12 between the mission going back. He never, obviously never went back.
No, never went back.
You had him arrested, and then we had to go to trial. We had to go through all that, the adjudication process, and he has been put away?
Oh yeah, he's in prison now 35 to 75 years. He has the mandatory 35 years. And then if he does, he's not going to do it, get through, in other words, probation or whatever it's called, he has to serve 20 years in a sex facility, supervised and not out in the public. So he's never going to hit the streets again.
The charges that he was convicted of were?
3 charges of sexual abuse of minor. There are 3 different charges. And,
was the rape one?
Yes, rape, sexual abuse, and something abuse of a minor as something. But he was but they had to get it first. Reason it took so long to come to find out, when he was charged when the police were looking in the beginning, because he was under 18 at that time when he molested those 2 young boys. He was 16 or 17. They filed it under children law. But then they had to move it to adult court. And I guess that took a couple of weeks to get that process done, which it did. It got moved to adult court. So he was in jail the whole time. Wow. And the President Grow was not happy about that. And he says, Tom, well, what jail is he in? I said, we only have one jail here, President Grow. And he says, well, I'd like to go visit him and see how things are going. I said, well, you need to visit the families, President Grow. I said, they need you. At this time, I was angry, but I still had faith in the church. I thought, do the right thing. Be the stake president you are. You're supposed to be. I'm going to go see them and help them all. I said, they need help. And then my phone started ringing, families started coming to me. Tom, what do we do? I talked to my children, and they've been abused. And I said, we gotta go to the police. That's the first thing to do. But should I go to the stake president? I says, no, do not. I said, go to the police first, then you go to the stake president. And so I took them to the police. Several of them, my wife and I drove them there, and some, they went there. I called the police and set up a time for them to meet to get statements from them. And that's when it came down to 5 families had reported to the police then. Michael Jensen was in jail at the time. And again, I was trying to get him to go. President Grow never once went and talked to one family. He left a voice message on one of the moms. This is President Grow. I'd like to talk to you if that's okay. Give me a call. He never says, I'm sorry, what's happened to your family? What's happened to your children?
Wow.
What can we do to help you?
Yeah.
And so I was furious. I made a good trail from my house to the stake center to talk to him many a times. I was like, you got to do something. And he says, Tom, you are putting yourself in a position that you have no authority. You're not to talk to these members. You're to send them to me. If someone tells you they've been abused, you tell them, come see me first. And I said, President Grow, it's not happening. I said, they're going to the police first. And I said, yes, I have told them to come to you, but not until they go to the police first. And so there was a lot of contention there. Yeah. But here I was trying to help and to make some kind of sense of this nightmare, but yet I was still trying to get the church to help, to do something. And And I said, we need to talk to these parents. I said, you need to counsel with them. Oh, we will, but it never happened. So as my wife and I were talking to the parents, the rumors started getting out. People started knowing what families were hurt. And you know what? The members should have been loving and kind, but they got angry with the families and myself. What are you doing? You're hurting our church. They started unfriending us on Facebook. The Relief Society president wrote this nasty letter, email to my wife, because she posted Michael Jensen's arrest picture on Facebook. Because your friends about every member there, which I don't have any of them now. They all left me, but that's okay. I didn't need them. But they're like, why would you do that? It's hurting our church. Why would don't do that. So,
Unbelievable.
and my wife was just broken. Everybody was pretty much in shock. So what I did, and I talked to the parents, I says, let's get together. Let's see what we can do. So I started at my home. I invited them to come to my home. And we had cookouts. And the parents were able to talk and try to make sense of this, why the children would play and do things. We tried to love and support one another.
So Tom, was this 4 other families in addition to you being the 5th?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And so their parents and the kids would come for the cookouts?
Yes, sir. We would do that.
You did the job of the stake president, essentially.
Well, I did the human thing. I did what I think Heavenly Father would want done, to love and support these people, which I was getting love and support too. We were supporting one another. That's all we had. I have, the bishops tell me, you don't have this priesthood authority to do that. Members deleting us off Facebook, sending us nasty messages. And which, I would go knock on their door and say, what do you want to say to me? I saw what you wrote. The door would be locked immediately.
Wow.
So, and I was told stay away or they'd call the police. I thought, okay, fine, no problem.
So and we'll get more into the story, but as to what happens as you continue on with the 4 families in your own, but what do you think, looking back, was the motive behind the leadership, and what is the thinking behind the members who turned on you? What is the motive? It could be the one and the same, but in your estimation, what were they all individually kind of thinking to try to do to Tom Stallings?
They wanted to shut me up. They didn't want me to be speaking out because it was hurting the image of the church.
Solely
the
image
of
of Mormon church.
Absolutely. There is no doubt in my mind that the church's image is the main thing that they care most about. Because all the years as a member of the church, I always heard and believed we love families, we love the children, we protect them. That's bullcrap. They didn't protect any of these children. They did not help these families. So, and after all that happened, I go back to President Grow again. I guess I'm trying to do the right thing.
Are you still faithful?
I'm faithful in God, yes, but it kept clicking. It kept getting angrier and angrier. My eyes started opening to see that this is not a true leader. This is not a representation of God. This stake president is evil, and it's not right. So I told him, I said, President Grow, I said, these families are hurt. I've been meeting with them. I've been trying to help them. You've done nothing. And I said, they need counseling. And I said, something's got to happen. I said, I'd like to use the Stake Center as a place where I can get help. And I said, I know the LDS Social Services director. He was a counselor. I said, I know him personally because we were friends. We worked through the addiction recovery program together. I said, I'd like to contact him and see if he would come into a group meeting or something. Well, as long as it's here at church and it's a church counselor, yes, you can do that. And he said, but I need you to do something. He says, you really need to push to these parents that forgiveness is a must. And I said, President Grow, I can't do that.